Hola amigos, welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel, and thank you so much for joining me today for a wrap up of what I read in May. If you haven't been to my channel before, my name is Emma Bennet. I'm a UK based writer and I write contemporary romance and the occasional children's picture book. I join you today from my overgrown garden, not for the aesthetic but purely because I have two teenagers sitting exams at the moment and the whole of the house is covered with exam papers. There is literally nowhere that I can film. So we're going with this. We're bird noises, ivy everywhere. It's fine. We're making it work. Anyway, I read a real mixture this month. Lots of different kinds of things. So let's get into it. So the first one I wanted to talk about is A Court of Wings and Ruin. This is the third in the series. What's the series called? I can't remember. Is it just called A Court of Thorns and Roses, the series? I feel it is. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, yeah, so this is the third one. The ending of it kind of makes it feel like the end of the series, but actually there's more to go. And I will read those definitely, just not in the next couple of months. So I have really enjoyed these books. I've talked about the previous two in other videos. This one wasn't quite as good as the second one. I'd give this like a 4 out of 5, whereas the second one was a 5 out of 5 for me, but really great, so exciting. Like, I just could not put this down. There was one particular scene and it was after 1 a.m. in the morning and I was really tired, but there was no way that I could put this book down until I finished that scene, which, yeah, very cool. Really liked it. Looking forward to reading more by this author. Oh, also, my husband is very lucky that Reese isn't a real person because, oh my goodness. Right, the second book is by Adrian Santiago and it's called Mythic, Shadow of the Spark. Adrian has a YouTube channel. It's called Books by Adrian and there will be a link to it in the description below. I won a copy of this book when it first came out and I have been joining some other author tubers on Adrian's channel in kind of a series of lives where we talk about this book. So a couple of weeks ago we talked about, I think it was chapters 1 to 9 or chapters 1 to 8, I can't remember. And now this coming week we're going to be doing like chapters 9 till 25, I think it is, and then in a couple of weeks we'll be doing the final part of the book. So I haven't finished reading this book for that reason. I'm not wanting to get too far ahead because I want it fresh in my mind when I talk about it, but it's really cool. It's fantasy mixed with sci-fi with a murder mystery. Very original, some really great characters, and if you want to know more about it then make sure that you go and check out those discussions that we will be having over on Books by Adrian's channel. The next book is by another author tuber. I'm reading all my friends' books, it's lovely. Margaret Pinard, The Captain Pin, Dolce's Legacy. Now I was desperate to get hold of this because a little while ago there were quite a few videos about it with different author tubers and book tubers discussing it and doing buddy reads and things, and I knew that my kids were going to buy it for me for Mother's Day, so I didn't want to watch those videos in case they had spoilers and things. Yeah, as good as I knew that it would be from Margaret. Dolce's Legacy is a YA historical about a young girl called Dolce who has visions of the past and she needs to see if she can use those visions to help those closest to her. I absolutely loved Margaret's writing style, both the stuff that's set like in the present day and also what was set in the past, and I would definitely be reading more of her books. This next book is also to do with Margaret Pinard. Margaret Pinard, I will make sure that I link her channel down below by the way, runs a readathon every May and it's called May of the Moderns. So during that readathon people read books from the modern period of literature, which is roughly kind of 1900 to 1950. So I chose a P.G. Wodehouse book, Leave It to Smith. So P.G. Wodehouse didn't actually die until 1975, so some of his books don't count as the modern period, but I made sure that this one did. I did look up, what's the publishing date of this one? because I know that Margaret would be very, very cross with me if I cheated. But I did so want to be part of her readathon. 1923, there we go, practically bang in the middle. I am a huge P.G. Wodehouse fan. I absolutely love his writing. It's just so funny and so quintessentially British. I first discovered P.G. Wodehouse in any form when I met my husband, well, when we first got together, and he had the Jeeves and Wooster like series on DVDs, and he introduced me to that, and I really loved it. And then I started reading the books, and there was another TV series made a few years ago about Blandings Castle, which is where some of P.G. Wodehouse's books are set, and I absolutely loved that as well. There were only 2 short seasons of it, so I'm not sure whether it wasn't all that popular, but I really loved it. And this book is set at Blandings Castle, so that was wonderful because it had lots of my favourite characters in it, and it's just so funny, everything about it, just the first scene, just everything. It's wonderful, it's comforting and glorious. Read Wodehouse if you haven't before. Absolutely amazing. Right, the next book that I read in May, completely different, The 12-Week Year. Get more done in 12 weeks than others do in 12 months. So the idea is to set goals for yourself within 12-week periods, so that you're very aware of what you're doing and of what your objectives are, what you're working towards, and kind of breaking down those goals into weekly goals so that you're more likely to hit them. I quite enjoyed it. I like the idea. I do like the idea. But this book was definitely written for more kind of salespeople in particular, I would say, who were trying to hit monthly targets. So it didn't really feel that it was for creatives. It felt like quite a dry read for me, whereas there are other books like Atomic Habits, for example, that didn't have the same kind of dry feel for me. But I am definitely going to put some of the suggestions into practice, and I think I might actually try the 12-week year at some point. So worth a read. The next book that I read is Rapid Regency, an author's quick guide to writing Regency romance by Joel Allen. This was recommended to me because I wanted to read a guide to how to write a Regency romance, because it's something that I'm very interested in doing, and this was absolutely brilliant. I mean, look, it's not long at all, and there is so much information in here. It's got what have we got? Basically, first of all, about kind of how to publish and things, the different sort of tropes that you can use, but also about the social classes in the Regency period, gentlemen's professions, the fashions of the period, the weather, dancing, just all kinds of things, traveling in the period. So much information in here that is so useful, and I'm sure it will save me a lot of time and energy and angst, honestly. So yeah, if you are thinking about writing a Regency romance, definitely pick this one up. Then we had Normal People by Sally Rooney. I've seen Sally Rooney's name kind of about for quite a while, and I saw this in a charity shop for 50p, so I thought I would try it. This was actually longlisted for the Man Booker Prize in 2018. So it's set in Ireland, and it's about these 2 teenagers, basically, both of whom have got a lot of problems, basically, and it's their relationship and how it changes over time when they move from their little hometown where they're seen as one thing, and they each have their kind of place in that society, to when they then move away from that town to go to university, and how that changes the dynamic of their relationship. And yeah, it's just following them as they grow from kind of I think they're 17 when it starts, and it takes them kind of up until the end of university or beyond. It's so sad. It is so sad. Very, very good. I enjoyed it. But so sad, really, really a weepy. And then the final one is completely weird. So this is Batman Noel, okay? This is what happens when you have 4 teenage sons who you want to bond with. So basically this is a retelling of the Christmas Carol with Batman in it. Yeah. Okay, I loved the illustrations. Do you call them illustrations? I don't know. I'm not a graphic novel expert. They're really, really good. I like them. That's Catwoman there. She's hot. What can we say? Oh, hello, Superman. Golly, can you make out the muscles on him? Nice. Anyway, getting back to what we're talking about. But yeah, I mean, come on. It's a Christmas Carol with Batman playing Scrooge. It was kind of weird. It was, oh, that's annoying. That's like in your view. Anyway, yeah. I'm not going to lie, I didn't love it, but I'm glad that I read it and I could chat to my boys about it because they love all the Batman graphic novels, so that was cool. Anyway, that is it for May. That is everything that I read. It was definitely eclectic, wasn't it? I had a lovely reading month. I hope you did too. Let me know if there's anything that you particularly enjoyed reading in May. Please let me know and pop it down in the description below. Make sure that you like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe if you haven't already so that we can hang out more, and I will catch you in the next one.